Season 7 of Marvel Rivals has changed the game. The Universal Ult Charge nerf has led to the neutral game becoming a lot more impactful, which is something I've been wanting for a while. Rivals has a really fun neutral game. Nearly every character has an interesting kit, but Ultimates being so impactful made it so that the interesting parts of playing a character, the skill expression hidden in each ability use, positioning, target priority, were hidden. Rivals had felt like a game of farm ult, use ult, repeat, with the entire game being centered around constant ult usage. Now the game feels a lot less restrictive, and there's an element of nuance in the game that was previously hidden by constant ults. Ultimates also became much more impactful. Getting them less means that you have to make sure that you don't waste an ult. Ults can decide games, but it takes a lot of understanding to know when to use your ult to win a game, whereas in previous seasons, ults were just spammed. Support ults now have a much higher skill ceiling. Annoying ults like Star-Lord ult don't happen as much, and ultimates that were previously mediocre like Ultron ult now have a much greater impact on the outcome of a game. Post-Ult Charge nerf Rivals has felt great to play. I hope they never go back on this change. It's been one of the best balanced decisions NetEase has ever made. This change genuinely made the game fun again by itself. The third ban slot has also been really good for the game. I've been wanting this for a while, and I'm really happy with the outcome. Players have been using the 3 bans to target the best supports in the game, which has encouraged off supports to be picked more. As a support player, I've wanted this for a while. Now, playing off supports isn't unoptimal, instead, a requirement. Support players who only play the main supports aren't as happy with this, but the fact of the matter is that you need to learn how to play more characters, namely the off supports. This season will separate the good support players from the boosted ones, with both the ult charge nerf and the third ban slot. The 3 bans aren't used on supports every game. Players will still use bans exclusively on S tier heroes like Groot, Phoenix, and Elsa, which is fine. Double bans still being a thing is an issue, but with the small pool of tanks and supports, I understand why NetEase would be hesitant to stop double bans. Imagine 6 tanks being banned, or 6 supports every game. Obviously that wouldn't happen because both teams would have to coordinate, but theoretically it could. It could theoretically happen now, but with the existence of double bans, it probably won't. I would still like them to remove double bans, but I understand why they might wait until we have more strategists and tanks. The 3 bans have also led to more dynamic matches, with 3 bans being used to ban counters to a certain comp, like a dive team banning dive counters or a flyer team banning poke, which has led to matches feeling different more often than they would in previous seasons. Last season it felt like I played against the same team 4 times in a row, while this season every game has the potential to be vastly different. White Fox has been alright so far. She's fairly balanced, she's not bad to play against, no aspect of her kit is overtuned, and she feels fine to play with. Some players are saying her resource management feels weird. It does recharge really slowly and her abilities still go on cooldown. Maybe a small buff to her cooldown time would help her feel a little bit stronger in future seasons, but right now I think she's okay. It's nice for a support to not be toxic to play against for once. I say for once, but there are supports that aren't toxic to play against. Her ult is right now really fun to interact with. I was fighting it as Thing, and it felt like a comic. I mean, Thing fist fighting a giant fox. It was just one of those things that make this game different from other shooters. I don't think it's a fox. What is it? Her ult is really, really good. It's not a pause the game button. As I said, it's fun to interact with for her team, and the enemy team. It requires a lot of forethought and understanding. All support ults should have been like this. With the start of a new season, a new wave of toxicity has hit Rivals. Weird throwers and levers feel really prevalent to start this season. It could just be the start of season effect, but I wonder if players who played last season are coming into this one with the I'm done with this game mentality that's resulted in them just not caring. Look, I'm all for not taking the game too seriously, but giving up on a game because you're not the biggest fan of a completely fine team comp is just going too far. Speaking of team comps, for whatever reason, solo tanking is still prevalent and one of the most frustrating aspects of this game. If you don't know how to play a good solo tank, getting out of the Plat, Diamond, GM area is going to be very difficult. It feels like players in those ranks play what they want and refuse to be flexible. I've seen a lot of weird players who get wildly out of position, die, and then spam need healing. My guess is that those players are just returning to the game, and this toxicity is hopefully only part of the wave of toxicity that happens at the start of every season, and hopefully goes away fairly quickly. Despite toxicity and solo tanking, the start of the season has been good. With PvE coming in April and the CC reduction next season, I think Season 7.5 will probably be the best one yet, as long as they don't undo anything they've done this season.